Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Here he is, the great Arthur Aidala. Artie, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, speaking of wackos, boy, does it take one to know one. Just to show people how the sausage is made, this past Sunday, I called my friend Sid. Sid, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. I'm like, last night was one of the biggest events in the whole city for city government and the media. It's an event I've been going to since I'm 12 years old. My grandfather was involved since 1941. What? And they did a whole skit portraying you, Sid. Oh. And then they had a little girl saying, "I don't care who's running for mayor. I'm voting for Sid Rosenberg."
See, by the way, I got to stop you right there. I got to stop right there because I saw the Sid Rosenberg impersonator. It was, I'm being very nice when I say this, a feeble attempt at humor. It was pathetic, actually. The guy didn't look anything like me. He was pale, no muscle. It was stupid. But are you telling me these little girls actually said they want Sid Rosenberg to be mayor? They actually said that?
It was a whole skit that they did. And they were saying, I'm voting for Cuomo, I'm voting for Madami, I'm voting for Curtis. And then this little girl pops up, she's like 8 years old, she goes, I'm voting for Sid Rosenberg, right?
Yeah, by the way, nobody said they're voting for Curtis. We've been there already, okay? I'm begging you to stop it, okay?
Well,
maybe 7% of the crowd.
Here's the point there, Big Shot. So I'm kvelling, okay, on Passover. I'm kvelling. I'm like, Sid's my boy. I'm so proud of him. Da, 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 da. Here he is. He's such a big shot. They're talking about him. That's Sunday night. You're telling me I love you. Thank you. Send me the clips. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I wake up Monday morning to like 40 messages on my phone.
Yeah.
Sid's ripping you a new one.
What?
Sid's of young right. So now Morano was the one who was the most accurate because you made some joke about the Inner Circle dinner. And then apparently I only went there to be seen. You left out the fact that my family's been going there for more than 60 years.
Well, your family went for the same reason, to be seen.
No, my grandfather wrote for the Daily Mirror. He was a journalist. He was in the show. He was a performer.
No.
I take out a full-page ad for him in the thing because he loved it. And we could use a little bit more of Republicans and Democrats.
No, we can't. No. We don't. No.
And Tip O'Neill celebrating St. Patrick's Day together.
Stop it. We don't need it. Democrats are assholes. And I'm going to tell you this.
Go to hell in a hairband.
That's fine. I'd rather go to hell all by myself than sit there and laugh at a mayor who hates Jews, hates Americans, and is destroying our city. Yeah, well, that was shameful. That was shameful.
He wasn't that funny. The mayor wasn't that great.
He wasn't that great.
The journalists were pretty good.
Listen to me carefully, Artie. Now, the journalists suck, too. Listen to me carefully, okay? I'd rather walk with a T-shirt that says I'm a Jew in Gaza right now than go to any Inner Circle dinner. Forget about Mayor Adams. He was bad enough. But this jerk-off, no thank you.
All right. Listen, you're allowed to step aside. But I will tell you, we had a great time. And the aforesaid Frank Morano and Julie Menon, Julie was great. I spent a bunch of time with her. She loves Morano. That's my point. She's the head of the Democrats. He's second in charge of the Republicans. And I said, I'm very close with Frank Morano. She's pausing. She goes, I love him.
Yeah.
He's so good at what he does.
Yeah, they're close.
Like, I know. Well, because they're smart. They're common sense. New York Yankee loving people. No, actually, Morano's another Mets guy.
Morano's a Met fan. And Julie, she has her moments. Today, I love her. I can easily switch by 12 o'clock this afternoon. And Frank, too. Frank also. Frank is against the Iran war, and he loves campus protests and all the things that I despise. So I don't agree with Frank a lot, and I certainly don't agree with Julie Menon a lot. I don't agree with you a lot. It doesn't matter. I love all of you, especially you. So I want to get to this Jonathan Diller story, because that's why you're here, because you're the best in the business. I guess you can make the argument that the prosecutors, much like Marsha Clark and Chris Darden, didn't do a very good job in convincing the jury that he left that morning with the intent of killing somebody. But I'm going to tell you this. with this lowlife Guy Rivera being acquitted of first-degree murder. Now, I know he still was guilty on 4 of the 5 charges, and in all likelihood, he'll never see the light of day. But the fact that he got a victory in court is annoying the hell out of me this morning. And I would posit this, Arthur, and again, you're the lawyer. If you leave your house in the morning with an illegal loaded gun, not a cop, that's part of their attire, that's their job. If you're a criminal with 21 priors and you leave your house in the morning with an illegal loaded gun, don't tell me his intent was not to kill somebody that day. He was prepared to kill somebody that day.
Well, let me just tell you, in terms of the staff here, the Queens District Attorney, Melinda Katz, she put really her best prosecutor on the case. John Kaczynski, he's the chief of the Homicide Bureau. He's the number one guy. He's, I think, 25, 28 years of experience. He knows his stuff. Mike Alois was the judge. If you're a prosecutor, there's no other judge you want to have than Mike Alois. Yeah, I think you know his daughter, she ran for district attorney in Nassau County.
Nicole, yeah.
So those two, I mean, that combination for prosecution is, their conviction rate is probably 99%. Obviously, the defense attorneys did a decent enough job. When the jury first came out and the judge said, "Is that your verdict?" One of them said, "No, it's not." Sent them back in, and they kept deliberating. But the bottom line is, look, sometimes in these cases with cop killing, people they think incorrectly. They think that they're going to get the death penalty if they convict them of the top count. So they don't convict them of the top count. You don't know. There could be one juror in there where they compromise 11-1. You know, all 11 wanted the top count. The one guy goes, "Look, unless you only convict of the count down, I'm not going to deliberate anymore." And it's
by the way,
jury,
I believe that juror 6 was the one that was, I guess, having that difficulty.
Was the one who said that's not my verdict. So they compromise. I mean, this happens in both directions. I've had it where it's been 11-1 not guilty, and the one guy goes, "Look, unless we find him guilty of something, I'm not going to deliberate. You get a hung jury, and everyone's got to do this all over again." So the Queens DA's office was not sleeping on the job. They put their best and brightest on the case. Somehow or another, the toughest judge maybe in the whole city, and I'm not exaggerating. Michael Loyce, he's a really nice guy. He's a very hard judge. As a defense attorney, when you pull Michael Loyce, you're like, "Oh boy, we're in trouble." And yes, he will figure out a way to sentence this guy to as much time as humanly possible behind bars.
Right, because that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and he can get 90 years. Obviously, if he does 70, he'll never see the light of day. And I know Mike a little bit. I know that Mike actually listens to this show because, as you know, Nicole, when she ran against Ann Donnelly, and I'm telling everybody that I endorsed Ann Donnelly, and I would endorse Ann Donnelly over Nicole 8 days a week. I don't know Nicole. Probably a nice girl, I don't know. But I know her dad listens to this program occasionally and is aware of what we're talking about. He loves you. So at any rate, I agree with you. I think he's going to hammer him. I don't think this guy...
I was the one who called you and said, "Could you stop beating up on Nicole?
Yes.
She's a good kid."
Yeah.
And you're like, remember those days there, Mr. Rosenberg, speaking of producers? And boy, did Frank Morano lick your butt. Holy cow, you sent me a text. We only got a couple of minutes. You're on right after Morano. And Morano kept going on and on. You're the greatest of all time.
He's right.
You're scared about getting coffee.
He's right.
He was riveting radio.
Yeah.
He just likes to be on the radio because he misses being on the radio. He loves being a councilman, but he misses being on the radio.
That's true.
So God bless him.
And you did.
And I'll be with Avi Dershowitz tonight. I'm so honored to be going to his Seder at his house. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Awesome. And to show you how much I love Dershowitz, I'm not bringing him special Mott's or anything. I'm bringing him 2 bottles of excellent Italian red wine.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's good. You got to drink about 4 or 5 glasses of wine during the Seder, And yes, you did, in fact, reach out about Nicole. And this is a little-known fact. I actually spoke to her and told her I'm endorsing Ann. I love Ann. But I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt because of your phone call. And we had a nice phone conversation, but then I went back the next day and said, "You better vote for Ann Donnelly."
Listen, you're entitled, Sid. It's your show, and you're doing a great job. And we can end where we began. For those real quintessential New Yorkers who are involved in the media and involved in politics, it really was. I was so happy at the Inner Circle. They made such a big deal out of you. Dude, there was no one else who was in journalism that they portrayed the way they portrayed you. Like, you were the man. You were the hitter. And I'm just sitting there, like, I was kvelling. For people who don't know what that means, I was like gushing with pride. I'm like, I know this guy. He's the guy who got thrown out of school with me. So like we were the guys who like we kept Monarch notes and Cliff notes in business in the 80s. So it's like so I was very, very happy that they made such a big deal out of Sid Rosenberg. And of course, your boss was sitting in the front row, John. They had some laughs with him, Catsimatidis.
Yep.
But obviously him and Chad and Emily, everybody, they were all proud that you and John were so front and center. They had a big WABC logo on the stage.
Hilarious.
Huge. It was so, God bless you, brother.
Thank
God
you.
bless you, your family. Of course, lovely Ava, who she's become my little right-hand woman, writing me memos and analyzing FBI tapes. She's sitting there with her earphones on, transcribing things, telling me what it says, what it doesn't say. She's getting one hell of an experience. That I can promise you.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.